Welcome to True Crime with Strategic Eyes.
Strategic back again. What's going on, guys? I hope you guys have had a great day. We are here today because we're going to discuss a very, very, very important audio recording that was released today by Grizzly True Crime, guys. Big shout out to Grizzly True Crime. She was able to obtain this via FOIA request. My understanding is that other people are starting to obtain that audio as well. But we want to give a big shout out to Grizzly True Crime, and we want to make sure that you guys go over to Grizzly True Crime. Make sure you like and subscribe. First of all, if you are a true crime fan and you are not yet subscribed to Grizzly True Crime, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what's wrong with you. I am a subscriber of Grizzly True Crime. She does really good work, and she has broken the internet today. But we're going to do something special today, right? Number one, we're going to give her credit, right? We're going to put her inside of the chat, so you can go over there and subscribe to that after the show. We'll also put inside of the description of this show so that you know where to find her video. And it's important that you find her video because what we have done is we have edited out her commentary. So you're going to hear an edited version of that audio. We have not edited out any of the words or context that Jenn Soto and the police interviewers did inside of that recording. We haven't done that. We just edited out Grizzly True Crime so that we can react to that, right? And Grizzly gave us permission, gave everybody permission to use her recording on their own shows, okay? So go over to her channel so you can hear her commentary, explanations, ideas, theories, etc. on this audio. Here, you will just be hearing Strategic Eyes take and analyzing the audio. So this is big, guys. So wow, this blew my mind. It literally blew my mind. Before I get started, I want to make sure that the audio is good. Please let me know if the audio is good. Let me get some thumbs up inside of the chat. When I know that audio is good, we're going to continue. We're going to jump right in this. All right. So, wow. I heard a little bit of it. All right, so people saying that audio is good. Great. Good stuff. So I heard a little bit of the audio, and then I stopped. I stopped because I wanted to make sure that we did this together, that we took this journey together, guys. So I'm going to analyze Jenn's interview. So a few things. Number one, Jenn's interview, this occurred less than 48 hours after Maddie Soto went missing. So Maddie Soto went missing on the 26th. This interview happened on the 27th. I believe that there's another interview, and that's the interview we all want to get our hands on, and that is the police interview that she did allegedly after. I can't confirm that this interview occurred, but I've been hearing rumors, so I'm telling you right now it's rumors, that the police took another crack at her after it was discovered that Stephen Stearns had abused her. Now, there's another one that we know for sure. This is the one when they were showing her the pictures and all that stuff. I want that interview too. And then there's allegedly an additional interview, a third one we can say that occurred. I want that. So I want both those interviews. I want the interview when Jenn Soto is being questioned on the actual abuse that Maddie was suffering, and they were showing her the pictures and saying, what do you think about this? Do you believe it now that your daughter has been victimized all this time by Stephen Stearns? I want to hear that audio. I want to see that video if it was physically and video recorded. And then allegedly there's another one after that before she stopped cooperating and got a lawyer. So this video is very probative, and we're going to get some good things out of it, I suspect, at least from the little bit that I heard. But it's going to be similar to the other videos that we heard where she's being questioned on her missing daughter. She's not a suspect in this. They're just trying to gather information. And lastly, before we get started, a lot of people are harping on the fact that this interviewer, this detective, identified themselves as a sex crimes detective. I'm going to tell you why that's not remarkable. I'm going to tell you why it's not remarkable. The reason why it's not remarkable, ladies and gentlemen, is because we were told by that investigator in this audio recording why they were there. Now, They know that they were there because they probably suspected that there might have been some form of sex abuse that happened in this household. But I can tell you from my experience that the child abuse section of my organization, my department, they don't just cover sex crimes, they also cover child abuse. Most child sex abuse units don't just deal with child sex abuse because, thank God, it doesn't happen as much that they need to have a dedicated unit that only deals with it. It happens a lot, but not as much, not as much as adults, or at least it's not reported as much as adults. I think that might be the more accurate thing to say. A lot of child sex abuse victims, they keep that abuse to themselves all the way into adulthood. So they usually are multidisciplinary, where they deal with child abuse, missing, and sex abuse. And in this interview, as you're going to hear, this detective is going to say, hey, don't be concerned that we're here and we're sex crime. We also deal with missings. So as bad as I think Jenn SOTO is, I'm not going to hold that against her. I'm not going to hold it against her that she's not like, well, why is sex crimes here? Well, they just explained to her why they're there. They said, whoa, don't be concerned, Jen. We're here because we also deal with missing kids, all right? So a lot of channels are kind of like throwing it out there and harping on, hey, sex crimes, sex crimes, sex crimes. Why isn't Jen freaking out? Well, she's not freaking out because they just told her, don't freak out. Don't freak out because we're here because we also deal with missings. All right. So we're going to listen to this. I brought my lucky friends here. These guys have been with me for almost 20 years. And I intend to have these on me when I ride off into the sunset and I retire, which is pretty soon. I'm due to retire soon. So these babies are with me. I want to see if Jen says something that's worthy of these beautiful bracelets being slapped on her, because we know how we feel about Jen on this channel. So let's do it. Let's jump into it. Let's see what we've got in this horrible, awful situation that has victimized this beautiful little girl. I feel so bad when I think about Maddie, beautiful Maddie. All right, I want to go ahead and start playing it. Let's do it.
The time is 23:32 hours. Gonna speak with Jennifer SOTO. Hey, Jennifer. I haven't introduced myself. My name's Myra Taglo. Okay, I'm a detective with the sheriff's office. Do you mind if I talk to you? Do you mind if we talk over there by the car? That's fine.
Yeah, where? Inside the house?
In the car.
Yeah. Our car?
Yeah. Oh, look at the baby.
All right, guys, real quick. So it looks like they want to separate them and put them in the car so that they can, talk to her in private without Stefan listening. Remember, every interview that we were able to see with our eyes, every police interview on body camera, as well as news interview, Stefan Stearns was always behind her with his hands folded, watchfully looking over her and listening to everything that she say, and even butting in and adding his own commentary. He was always that presence behind her. So they want to get her to speak about this without him listening. All right. So, and I just want to make sure you guys understand, we are analyzing this, right? So if you want to listen to the entire video unedited, you got to go somewhere else. Okay. We will be stopping to analyze this. That's the purpose for being here. Let's keep going.
Does it lock?
No, it should be fine.
Okay. Over here,
Are you
please.
going to be able to go back home soon?
I'll explain it in a second. Okay? I have a question too before we get started. Somebody said something like somebody in here has a gun. Is that a true statement or a false statement?
That's a true statement.
Okay, where is this gun at right now?
It is upstairs in the guest bedroom.
It's not like in any of these cars out here.
No, I don't believe so. I think it's upstairs in the guest bedroom. Bedroom number 4. It's got a number 4 on it.
Okay, how certain are we of that?
As far as I know, the gun is inside upstairs. I haven't heard of it being in the car.
Okay. Let me just move my purse.
If you want.
All right, so you guys know this is officer safety. You know, Stephen Stearns has guns. They know this by now. Just want to make sure they know where the guns are because, you know, this is Florida and it is legal for people to have guns in Florida. So this is just officer safety stuff. Let's keep going.
I'm gonna take
I could be incorrect. I'm not sure.
Hit that like button, people. Support the channel. Make sure you hit that like button.
If you want to start recording, just give me 1 second.
Yeah. Let me make this. I know it's not the most comfortable, but at least you won't be cold over there.
Yeah. I get cold super easy.
I'm the same way, so I understand. You want to take a seat right over here, and then she's gonna.
Do you have your keys on you?
Here, have a little closer. Just
Sorry, this isn't my car. There we go.
Are we about to get
Okay,
started
so
soon?
I'm not sure if he introduced himself, but his name is Luis Acosta. Okay. We both work for Orange County Sheriff's Office. So I understand you spoke with the other guy earlier with Detective Frank Hunt. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. We have officially taken over the case, okay? So
Are you guys with Kissimmee?
No, we're with Orange County.
Oh.
It's just a different unit.
Oh, okay. What unit are you with?
We're with sex crimes.
Okay.
It's just because of her age and
All right, so even then her response was not appropriate, okay? So before the detective can say it's because of her age and she's missing, which is basically supposed to, you know, belay that defensiveness and that concern that my daughter was a victim of a sex crime. What? Before that detective can ease her fears, her response was, okay. That's not an appropriate response. You are an adult. You're a mother. You're a mature individual. You're supposed to say, why is sex crimes here? What does sex crimes have to do with my child? Explain to me what is your function here, because you understand that this is a specially trained detective in investigating specifically sex crimes. Now, the detective will eventually explain that in this department, they are multidisciplinary. They have other functions, but her response was so inappropriate. Let's keep going.
is why we take over. Does that make? I know it's kind of confusing, but like we have like different roles, in Orange County, and depending on like people's age, we sometimes take over investigation when it comes to missing persons.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You know, notice that the detective is leading that conversation. At this point, you know, from my experience, when this has happened to me, when I've introduced myself as a sex crimes investigator to people, they take over the conversation. They're like, whoa, what are you here for? What do you mean, you sex crimes? What's going on here? She says, okay. And then the detective is dominating the conversation to explain to her why they're there, why that particular unit is taking the lead. For most adults, that would not be the case, unless, of course, you already know. Unless, of course, you're surprised that it took them so long to get there. Now, I have no evidence of that. That's my own personal bias, and you guys know how I feel about Jenn Soto as a parent, as a mother. But that's what I surmise might be the reason why somebody would not be that surprised that this specialized unit is here now talking to them. Let's keep going.
So, when you talked to him earlier, I kind of got like a brief synopsis of what happened. I understand you have a new job.
Yes.
Okay. And if I say anything that's incorrect, please correct me. Okay. You have a new job. And last night you asked them to go sleep upstairs because you wanted to get rest. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. What time was this? Do you remember? It doesn't have to be like exact time, but like just Oh, and then yesterday she had her, or Sunday she had her birthday party, right?
Sunday she had her birthday party.
Okay, what time was that party at?
It started at 3 o'clock.
Okay, from 3 to what time?
I'm not sure. I wasn't there. I was at work.
Oh, okay, you weren't there.
But I know my sister got home around 8:30.
Uh-huh. Was Stefan here at that time?
I'm not sure if he was here at the time, but I think he got here a little bit after.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, okay, she was already doing what she was supposed to. She had taken her nighttime meds, and she was getting ready for bed, like taking a shower. She'd take showers at night.
Yeah, so this is, once again, this I'm finding is very, very weird. Okay, by all accounts, rather, from the friends in school, the teachers, etc., Maddie presented as a normal kid. There's some issues there. We now know that a lot of those issues most likely was caused by lifelong trauma of being abused by this man that's behind me, Stephen Stearns. But she did not appear to be an invalid. She did not appear to be in some type of cognitive or have a cognitive impairment or something to that effect. She appeared to be somebody who can brush her teeth on her own, take a shower on her own. So I find it odd that the way that she's talking about Maddie is as though Maddie needed supervision to get these basic tasks done. Very weird, very interesting. Let's keep going.
So he's like, okay, she was already on it. I didn't get home until, I'm going to say 10:30.
Okay.
And then at 11, I sent them to bed.
Did Stefan make it to the party?
No.
Okay. And then once you get here, you said you sent her to bed at 11. And the following morning, well, I'm sorry, let me backtrack a little bit. You send them upstairs, right?
Mm-hmm.
How many bedrooms are upstairs?
3.
Okay. Where?
In bedroom number 4.
Okay.
All right, so here we go, the infamous bedroom number 4. The infamous bedroom number 4. But once again, the reiteration that she said in other interviews of, I sent them up to bed. Why? I sent them up to bed. Who sends their boyfriend, their paramour, their on-again fling, whatever you want to call this guy, fiance, whatever you want to call him. Apparently they're broken up, but husband, sometimes she even called them. Who sends a grown man to bed? And or why would a grown man need to put a 13-year-old girl to bed? Everything that's being said here is outside the bounds of normal. It's abnormal behavior, abnormal interactions between Jenn and Stefan. When you find and you see something abnormal, not always, but often, you can find something wrong that creates this abnormal situation. Could it have been that she knew what was happening and that's why she sent them to bed, because she literally was sending them to sleep with each other? Sometimes when people speak, they tell you half-truths. There's some truths. There's some truth in a lie. I sent them to bed. For us to believe I'm sending them to go to sleep, but in the back of her head, in her subconscious, she knows I sent them to go sleep with each other, for him rather to sleep with this child. It doesn't make sense. It's not even the terminology you'd expect somebody to use when talking about a grown man. I sent them up to bed. I often send them to bed. Listen to this, because she's going to get deep into how, when and why and under what circumstances she would send this grown man to bed with this teenage girl. Let's keep going.
Okay. And what about Stefan?
Bedroom number 4.
Okay. Is it normal for both of them to sleep in the same room?
Sometimes when I really need a good night's sleep, I will send them upstairs. But when also a lot of times we will sleep together in the king size bed, all 3 of us, or sometimes Stefan will go upstairs and in our bed alone. So it just really depends on what's going on that night with our schedules and what we're doing.
Okay, where were you sleeping?
Downstairs in the king size bed.
Okay, is it just you two here, or you guys have a roommate, right?
We have 2 roommates, and one of the roommates has a son who's here like a little bit more than half the week.
So what rooms do you guys use?
The room downstairs, the master bedroom downstairs, and room number 4.
So they have 2 rooms. 2 rooms. So now definitively, we know they have 2 rooms. We heard it from her mouth. She just broke down the occupancy of this apartment, of this condo. They have a master bedroom, most likely the biggest bedroom in the house, with a king-size bed in it. I don't even have a king-size bed. With a king-size bed in it. And then they have room number 4. What does that tell us? There's no reason why she should ever send Stephen Stearns to sleep in a bed with her daughter. We also know that they have a living room space with a couch there. Some people have described that there was a fold-out bed in the couch and all that good stuff. The bottom line is, whether it's just a normal couch or a couch that can fold out into a bed, you have 3 sleeping areas. 3 sleeping areas. You got the master bedroom with a king-size bed, whereas Stephen Stearns should be sleeping with his woman. You got a living room where somebody can sleep, and then you have bedroom number 4, which conceivably could be Maddie's bedroom. There's no reason why she should be sending this little girl to sleep with this grown man, or vice versa. Let's keep going.
Okay. So it wasn't last night. It was the night before. Stefan slept in bedroom number 4, and you slept downstairs.
Yes.
In the master. Okay. What time did you wake up? I'm going to say around 8 o'clock in the morning. Stefan came into the room and was trying to put the leash on the dog.
All right, this is big. I'm going to bring it back a little bit, because now we're talking about the morning where this beautiful little girl died, or we don't know when she died during that night. But this is when all the hiding of the body, this is her now explaining how Stefan, what she heard, because Stefan did so much while she's in the house. He literally moved a dead body from room number 4 to his car and disposed of the body. So now we can hear from her perspective what she could recall from that morning. Before we play it, please hit that like button, support the channel. You hitting the like button helps us get into the algorithm so that our show can be showed to new viewers, to a wider audience. So please do hit that like button, support the channel. So let's do this now. Very important stuff right now. Open those ears and let's take this in.
Slept downstairs.
Yes.
In the master. Okay. What time did you wake up? I'm going to say around 8 o'clock in the morning. Stefan came into the room and was trying to put the leash on the dog. Somewhere between, I'm going to say somewhere between, he came into the room somewhere between 8 and 8:15. He came in to put the leash on the dog, and I got up to try to help him because my dog is kind of a nervous dog and I didn't want him to pee on the bed. So we wrangled him, put him on his leash, and he said, "Go back to sleep." And I said, "Okay." So I laid back and went back to sleep.
All right, so apparently this is after he had disposed of Maddie's body. This is afterwards. So she's now contradicted what she told responding officers and what she told the news. So now her story has changed. Because there's nothing about seeing Maddie in the morning time, knowing what Maddie was wearing, the white Crocs, none of that. None of that. She now woke up 8:50, helped him with the dog, then he told her to go back to bed, and that was the end of that. Very telling. Very, very telling. Why is her story changing? Why is her story changing?
Okay. I heard people in the kitchen. I'm not sure exactly who was in the kitchen. As far as I know, I came downstairs to get ready in her. So she's got, she's kind of got a bedroom in the living room. If you go into the apartment, you'll see there's like one of those fake walls, separating half the bedroom. She's got like a desk with a bedroom and a TV and a dresser.
Mm-hmm.
But she'll hang out there during the day, but she never sleeps there. She always sleeps with me. And then the rare occasion upstairs. But most of the time it's with me.
Okay. Did you see her?
All right, I want to go back a little bit so I can soak that in. I'm sorry, sometimes we're going to have to play it back because this is important stuff. I am learning more about this case with you guys. This is not just to play through and say we heard it. No, we're trying to soak this in. We're trying to figure this out, guys. So let's go back just a tad bit and soak this in.
In a dresser.
Mm-hmm.
Go back a little bit more.
I came downstairs to get ready in her. So she's kind of got a bedroom in the living room.
Nah, come back even more.
So I laid back and went back to sleep.
Okay. All right,
I
here we
heard
go.
people in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure exactly who was in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
As far as I know, I came downstairs to get ready in her. So she's kind of got a bedroom in the living room. If you go into the apartment, you'll see there's like one of those fake walls, separating half the bedroom. She's got like a desk with a bedroom and a TV and a dresser.
Mm-hmm.
But she'll hang out there during the day, but she never sleeps there. She always sleeps with me.
Okay.
And then the rare occasion upstairs. But most of the time it's with me.
Okay. Did you see her on Monday morning?
Visually see her? No.
Did you hear her?
I heard many people in the kitchen. I'm not sure if it was my roommate or her specifically.
Okay. Is your roommate a male or a female?
Female.
Okay.
All right, so now we know lie, right? Because remember, she said that she saw her daughter and she described what her daughter was wearing. And then she even said, we took her to school. But even if we took her to school was misspeak because she want to sound like she's in solidarity with her man and she's a good woman, she's standing by her man, and did she just want to find her daughter that's alive, blah, 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 blah. You would not say that you saw the child. We took her to school is misspeak. I will give you that, Jen, and I don't give Jen much. We took her to school, misspeak. Describing what your daughter was wearing, that's a lie, in my opinion. That is a lie. That is deception. That is you trying to throw off an investigation and trying to protect a person who killed your daughter, and maybe you knew about it. That's my opinion. But now her story has changed 48 hours later, and she's saying, I heard people in the kitchen, but I didn't see the kid. Well, let's keep going.
They're both females.
When was the last time you physically saw?
Wednesday, 11 o'clock. I'm sorry. Sunday, 11 o'clock.
Sunday when you sent her to bed.
To bed. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then when you woke up, you said you woke up briefly because Stefan went in there. Did you go back to sleep?
Yes.
What time did you get up?
Let me see if I actually have my alarm set. No, I don't have the specific day on there. Let me check something real quick. I'm pretty sure I woke up around 9 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And then I left at 9:30.
I had an appointment.
I had a doctor's appointment at like 10:15.
Uh-huh.
But they took a while. And then by the time they did my blood work and whatever, I think I got home somewhere between 11 and 11:15.
Okay.
All right, so we're getting a timeline. This is really good work from this investigator by locking her in a timeline. It's the most important thing when you're doing interrogation, when you're interviewing somebody, when you're searching for facts. Before you can get the facts, before you get witnesses, video, lab reports, forensic reports, you are locking a person into a time. You're locking them into a time. So you're doing a really good job. Before we continue, okay, we're like a quarter of the way through. Edited down, it's 33 minutes. We're at the 9.5 minute mark. Please hit that like button. The likes are looking very anemic, and I understand because people are attentively listening to this audio. This is brand new. This is breaking news given to us by Grizzly True Crime. Well, not given to me personally, but posted by Grizzly True Crime. Okay? I get it. But you got to support the channel so that our channel could grow, so that we could get to a wider audience. So I really would appreciate that support from you guys who are taking the time to watch this video. Let's keep going.
When you got back, was Stefan here?
I'm pretty sure he was, yeah.
What was he doing?
Just sitting in my room. At my computer desk on his phone.
Okay. What did you guys do?
And if this is true, and as she's describing this interaction, that's what happened. That is the mark of a sociopath. Stephen Stearns is a bona fide sociopath. He lacks empathy for other human beings. That he could have slaughtered that little girl and just at the computer on his phone, hanging out. That's it. No big deal. Horrible. Demon seed. That's the only way you can explain somebody like that. An evil man. Look at his eyes behind me right now. Terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. Let's keep going.
We chatted for a little bit. I asked him what had happened because he had called me earlier at 10. Let me see. Pretty sure he called me around 10:18.
What did he call you for?
To let me know that they didn't go to McDonald's as planned. He had asked her multiple times if she wanted to stop at McDonald's because that was the plan the night before. That they were going to wake up early. He was going to take her to McDonald's, do like a special McDonald's breakfast, and then drop her off at school early because she wanted to get there a little early.
That sounds very rehearsed, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to the way that Stephen Stearns told that story in previous videos that we did. It's very rehearsed. She's basically parroting what Stephen has said.
On his way to school, she was very sleepy and wanted to sleep in the car. And she said she did not want to do McDonald's. She just wanted to be dropped off.
Okay.
Also to let me know that he left his phone at home. Because I had called him multiple times and he hadn't picked up. He had left his phone at home by accident. He had went to the vape shop, but they didn't.
Nobody knows another person's story like this down pat. When your daughter's missing, to you, if you believe that your boyfriend is innocent, your husband is innocent, your friend is innocent, whoever's innocent, this is just like not important. It's like, yo, you took her to school. The most important thing is he told me he dropped her off at 9:15. That's the most important thing because all this other stuff is like noise because you truly believe that this person is innocent. She is literally going down hour by hour, minute by minute, what Stephen Stearns said he did because that's his alibi. That's his alibi. That's his story that's supposed to vindicate him. That's supposed to say he's not guilty. How is it, under the stress of your daughter currently missing, that you can recite verbatim exactly what Stephen Stearns has said in multiple interviews? Doesn't make sense to me. It seems rehearsed. It seems scripted. In my opinion, it seems like a lie.
Didn't open on time, so he had waited for quite a while in front of the vape shop. They didn't open, so he left and came back, and we hung out a little bit. And then I think he left again to the vape shop to go buy what he needed.
Okay.
Do you want the name of the vape shop?
Yes. If you have it at the top of your mind, I'm sure we're going to talk again soon, and we'll have more.
No, I'm just saying because that might be helpful if you want to do like surveillance or anything.
Okay, so at some point, I understand he gets like a flat tire, and he's not able to go with you to pick school.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And
when you get to the school, how do you realize that she wasn't there?
So I usually leave around 2:30 to pick her up. She gets out of school at 4.
All right, I just want to stop it right here real quick just to bring up a point I saw in the chat. Like I'm doing 20 things at the same time because what you guys are talking about in the chat is very relevant as well. So I'm keeping an eye over there. Somebody said they came up with this story together. I think is a good, just knowing her personality from what we've seen so far. We don't know her, but what she's shown us, the way that she talks about Stephen, I sent them to bed. She seems like she is very dominant in this relationship. I can see them doing this together, in my opinion. I just don't feel like Stefan was the backbone of this relationship, was the alpha in this relationship. He's clearly not an alpha male. Clearly not. He everything about him exudes beta, following the leader. It definitely feels like she would have come up with this story with him, that they did this together. It feels to me, in my opinion, that they were in on this together. But that's a different story, all right? But I just wanted to bring that out to you guys. Big shout out to the chat. Good job, because I'm with you on that one. I like that theory. I like that. And big shout out to Chelsea Fenton, who's now a Strategiceyes recruit. Appreciate you for joining the family, becoming a member. We do have a membership program. Please, people, look into that membership program. The cheapest level is 99 cents. Let's keep going.
So I wait that. It takes me about 20, 25 minutes to get to the school, and then I wait about an hour for her to get out. I waited the whole time. And then when the bell rang and then it was time for her to come out, she wasn't one of the first kids like she normally is. And I realized I was holding up the line because everyone behind me had children and they needed to get out because I was the first in line. So after about, I'm going to say, I think it was like 4:10, she didn't come out and I was holding up the line. So I drove away. I said, maybe I forgot to tell her that I was picking her up that day, because I don't know if she knew that I wasn't working that day. But I had assumed that she thought, she knew that I was going to go get her. So because she never came out, I left and I went. She works less than, let me say it's like a 3-minute drive from the school. It's very close. She works in the Hunters Creek Villages area. I drove that way, and I drove along the path that she would walk, and I didn't see her. And then office, I asked, "Hey, has she gotten here yet?" They said no, and I said, "Okay, let me wait a little bit." And I parked back again on Hunters Park Lane, I think. And I waited along that lane to see if I would see her walking. And I didn't see her walking. And it was about 4:30, 4:35. At this point, she should have. So I went back to the office. And then I was like, is she here yet? No, she hasn't gotten here. And I said, okay, hold on. Let me see. I called her best friend. And I was like, hey, are you... I don't know if I told her I was picking her up from school today or to walk to the office.
All right. I stopped it just for a quick second because I want to show you guys something. Because she's holding up the line and stuff like that. Now, from Google Earth, they do have a car here. I don't know if this car is simulated for graphic purposes, but it does look like it is a tight kind of like driveway. But there are places that she could have pulled over. And the reason why I want to make this point is that most reasonable people would say, you know what? My daughter's missing. I'm going to pull over here, pull on the grass. I'm going to pull up on the sidewalk. I don't care what the school safety officer has to say. I don't care what other parents have to say. I don't give a damn. I need to get in that school and I need to talk to somebody and I need to figure out where's my child. That's what most reasonable people would say and do. That's not what Jenn Soto did. Jenn Soto said, oh, I'm holding up the line. I'm holding up the line. So you know what? I'm going to get out the way so that other people, so that they could get their kids. I'm pretty sure that there was a balance between her pulling over, parking, whatever, and going into the school and trying to figure out what's going on with her daughter instead of sending an email like we know that she did, or calling other little kids to try and figure out if she was in school. I'm sure there was a much more responsible way of going about this than just pulling off, which is what Jenn Soto did, which is what she's going to tell us she did. I'm sorry to stop it, but I had to make that point. And before we go any further, big shout out to Lauren WI with a $4.99 super chat. She says, thanks for covering this and using your professional detective skills on this. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. You are appreciated. All right. Let's keep going.
But I don't see her anywhere. And she goes, no, she never came to school today. She didn't come to first or second period. And I said, what do you mean? We dropped her off close to school. She should have walked to school. She goes, no, she never made it to any of her periods. And I said, can you please check with your other friends in your other classes to see if she ever made it? She got back to me and said no. At this point, I started to panic because I realized something was wrong. I emailed one of her teachers, a few of her teachers actually, and one of them responded to me. He said she didn't make it to his period at all, and he checked all her other classes, and she didn't make it to school at all. That's when I knew something was truly wrong. And I'm not before that email or after that email. But I started panicking and freaking out because she should have been to school. She should have made it.
And then I understand she forgot her.
My question is, why didn't she call Stephen Stearns at that time? Stephen Stearns was the last person that she spoke to. Why in this testimony and in all the other interviews that she gave, she never said, I called Stephen Stearns? Because my understanding is that this time he had already retrieved his phone. So during the morning time, 10, 11, 12, whatever, smoke shop stuff going back and forth, he left his phone. But at some point, we know that he went and got his phone. So why wasn't Stephen Stearns one of the people she called to figure out where the child was, knowing that Stephen was the one who went early morning to get a special McDonald's breakfast? I mean, don't get me wrong. I love their hotcakes. The little big breakfast, love it. Get it once in a while because it's so fattening, but it's not special. There's nothing special about a big breakfast hotcake. In fact, you could go to a diner and get home-cooked style meals for less than 2 big breakfasts, one for Stephen, one for Maddie. There's nothing special about it. So since he's the last person that you saw or that you knew was with your daughter allegedly, why wasn't he the first person that you called? That doesn't make any sense. And I haven't heard anybody else say anything about that. Maybe maybe I'm wrong. There are other creators who spoke about that, but this is the first, because it just dawned on me, but I've listened to other creators' takes on these things. I've never heard anybody put that together. Why didn't she call Stephen Stearns at this time when he had his phone? Please hit that like button, guys. Please show love to the channel. Hit the like button. Let's keep going.
Her phone, right?
Yeah.
Is it common for her to not have her phone?
Yes. She's got ADHD. She's super forgetful. She doesn't even... She never realizes that she's in the shower for a whole hour. She loses track of time. She's very...
And then you guys went looking for her, right?
Yes.
Where did you look? Like, did you drive somewhere? Did you walk? Like, where did you go look for her?
Okay. So, after her best friend called me, actually, or I talked to her best friend on the phone, I went back to the school to see... Let me check her official attendance. Let me see what's going on. They were already closed. Nobody was.
All right, so she went back to the school. Okay, let's do it.
So I searched by.
All right, you wouldn't know that the school is closed. You never would. You substituted in that school before. You substituted in Maddie's school, which means that you did an entire school day. You wouldn't know that at whatever time. I'll just throw a time out there. 5 o'clock. That is shut down. Everybody's gone. Forget about substitute. As a parent, you would know that the school shuts down at that time. That's why it was so important that you should have addressed it while you were actually at the school. She's got an answer for everything, ladies and gentlemen. And when I'm sitting in an interview room with a subject, with a witness, with a whatever they want to be at the time until the evidence figures out exactly who they are, and you got an answer for everything, I'm screaming in my brain, deception. You are trying to deceive me. She's got an answer for everything, ladies and gentlemen. Let's keep going.
By backtracking into the school and then coming back out and seeing that there were no kids at the school at all. So then I drove office. Everything was driving. And then I think that response from her teacher at that point, but
Did you come back to the apartment at any point yesterday once you realized she was missing?
Stefan was at home waiting for us to get back. And then when I told him something was wrong, she never made it to school, he completely hauled it back to me.
So it took her all that time to finally tell Stefan that the child was missing. Once again, the last person that was with the child. You go into your living room. You want to watch some Netflix because Netflix has that interesting show in Britain where people have the superpowers, and they're saying it's the first show that has a 100% Rotten Tomatoes and all that good stuff. And I still haven't seen that show yet. And you go sit down on your couch and you don't see the remote, but you remember that your child or your wife or your brother or your friend was in that remote, was in that living room on that couch with that remote 10 minutes earlier, an hour earlier, 3 hours earlier. What's the first thing you're going to do, ladies and gentlemen? You're going to move one or two pillows, and then what are you going to say? Yo, where's the remote? You're the last person who had the remote. Where did you put it? If they're not home, you're going to call them up. If they're upstairs, you're going to call them upstairs. They're downstairs, you're going to call downstairs. You're going to go to the last person or the last place that you saw the item you're looking for, whether it's a physical thing or a child, whatever it may be. Food, remote, kid, doesn't matter. The last person that had possession of this minor child was Stefan Stearns. That was the person that had legal guardianship at that time. Not in a legal sense, but like in a moral sense. You let the man go with your child, you expect him to keep your child safe. That's the last person that was with that child. Why didn't she call him? Why did she go through all of these different places she went? She went to the school. The child wasn't at the school. She went to her mother's job. The child wasn't at the mother's job. She then went back to the school. The school was closed. She then got an email from the teacher confirming that the child was never in school. She then went back home, and finally, even though Stefan Stearns was in possession of his cell phone at the time, finally she says, hey, Stefan, my child was never at school, and I don't know where my child is. You got to make it make sense, ladies and gentlemen. Let's keep going.
And then we all stood there waiting for the cops to show up, and they didn't show up till like 7:30. It took them a while to respond. I think they were looking for other missing kids around the area too. But yeah, no, we did not come back home until we were done with the police. We were done with everything. There was nothing else for us to do. Just except come back
Where
home.
was her phone when all of this was happening?
With me.
How did you get the phone if you never came back here?
I took it with me to go pick her up from school. I was going to give it to her when she got in the car and be like, listen, you forgot your phone again, and let her play on it. I'll do that sometimes when she forgets it. I bring the phone with me and I just give it to her afterwards. But I had brought it with me to go pick her up from school.
Okay. And you works where?
I won't get you the address exactly.
Yeah. And then, did you at any point check her phone out while you had it?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Okay. Actually, I started looking, but I could not concentrate on reading anything. I was too panicked and too worried. I handed the phone to my sister. She's the one, and my niece. They both started going through her texts. I saw her texts. Nothing seemed weird. No weird random people. Everyone is someone I was familiar with or had heard about. They checked her Roblox.
I wonder if Stefan Stearns sanitized her phone. He was in possession of the phone. We know that. It was at the house. But I wonder if he sanitized her phone, because I really am curious as to the type of conversation Stefan would have with Maddie. This abuse was deep and profound. This was profoundly horrible abuse that Maddie experienced for an extended period of time. In New York, we would charge that as a course of conduct rape case. course of conduct, meaning happening over an extended period of time. This is like one of the most punitive charges you can give a rape suspect. It usually results in life in prison. There is no death penalty in the state of New York. These are some of the most horrendous cases to try. Most horrendous cases to present to a jury to succinctly lay out months and years of abuse and describing each one of those instances as this jury, if it goes to a trial and Stephen doesn't strike a deal or plead guilty or whatever, this jury will have to sit down and listen to weeks of testimony, audio, visual descriptions of each abuse that occurred, and then watching it on the screen. Very disturbing indeed. I'm sorry. Let's just keep going.
I checked her Discord. I checked her Discord as well. There was nothing weird. One of the police officers taught me to look at deleted text messages. Mm-hmm. We looked at those as well. They were random text messages deleted. They weren't anything.
Do you remember where you were when you were looking at her phone?
Yes.
Which is where?
Let me see. Is it okay if I call her?
Yes.
I'll get the exact address.
And then while she answers, were you guys, when you guys were looking for her, did you guys keep looking for her in the Hunters Creek area or somewhere else?
Hunters Creek area.
Okay. Did you guys come back here at any point?
No.
What time did you guys come back home?
Hold on a second. That's what I was trying. What time did we come back? What time did we come back? That was a very good question. I was going to say it was like somewhere between 8 and 9 o'clock p.m.
Did you guys go back out after that?
Stefan went back out.
And this was last night, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So this is on the 27th. So this interview's happened. So this happened on the 26th. So she's talking about the night of Maddie being missing. All right, so let's keep going.
Where was after this?
With me.
Okay. Did you leave the house at any point with her phone after this?
I don't believe so, no. Hold on. No, I think it's been home all day today, too.
It's been home all day today?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
What time did the police take her phone?
Oh, just kidding. Yeah, they took it. I don't have it anymore.
Whoa. Just kidding. Just kidding. That was very inappropriate. I'm so confused. And let's bring it back a little bit. I need some context here. I didn't hear this before. I don't want to rail on her. I want to understand context of what made her say that. Let's bring it back.
Yes.
Okay. Where was after this?
With me.
Okay. Did you leave the house at any point with her phone after this?
I don't believe so, no. Hold on. No, I think it's been home all day today, too.
It's been home all day today?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
What time did the police take her phone?
Oh, just kidding. Yeah, they took it. I don't have it anymore. And I've made so many phone calls today and seen so many people today.
I mean, I don't know if she's nervous. You know, like I tell you guys, you know, I'm biased against Jenn Soto. I always say it. You know, I think that she was a negligent mother, whether she had something to do with Maddie's ex abuse or Maddie's untimely demise. I don't know. We'll figure that out as more evidence comes out. But I believe she's a negligent mother. She's a bad mother. That's my opinion. But even though I'm biased against her, I don't want to just rag on her for every little thing. I don't know if that's just her being nervous by saying just kidding. You know, she's trying to remember things that came back to her and she said something inappropriate. I don't know. I can't really make apples and oranges out of it. I just know that it's inappropriate, but I don't know if it was due to her being deceptive, or it just dawned on her that the police had actually taken the phone, right? So, but that was really weird, but it's in keeping with her whole affect throughout this entire interview. Her daughter's missing, daughter's gone, and it's like she's talking about a missing car. It's like she's giving a report that her car is missing, and she woke up, she parked the car over there, woke up, car's gone. You got low jack on it? No, I didn't pay the bill for the low jack last month, so man, I should have paid the bill for the, you know what? Just kidding. I actually did pay the bill for the low jack, but my credit card got canceled, so you know what? I didn't pay the bill. Can't use the low jack. Seems, using Amanda K's words in the chat, very disconnected from the seriousness of what's happening right now. The fact that her daughter's missing, and I just don't see her at any point trying to address the fact that the last person that saw her daughter was Stephen Stearns. Because it doesn't matter how much you love him or don't love. First of all, supposedly they were on the rocks at this time. Supposedly they weren't together. So I don't understand the loyalty where she's not asking this detective, like, hey, have you spoken to Stephen yet? Like, what do you think? Do you think that, he may have had something to do with this? What's going on? She's saying nothing about Stephen. She's giving the exact same script that Stephen gave the detectives, possibly the script that they developed together or the script that he gave her. I don't know. But she's parroting what he's saying, and she has no questions whatsoever on whether these detectives think that the last person actually saw the child had something to do with it. Let's keep going. We got 13 minutes left. Let's go.
Was it light out or dark out?
It was light out. It was still Detective Hunt still it was during the daytime.
And then but other than that, her phone was here all day.
In the morning, yes.
Did you guys take the phone anywhere other than when Detective Hunt took the phone?
I think it's been home all day. I don't think I left the house with it.
Okay. Did Stefan have access to the phone?
I'm sorry, I took my medicine, so I feel a little spacey.
Now, I just heard that. Is that not what Stephen Stearns says every time he got a tough question? I'm sorry, I took my medicine, or I'm sorry, I took my Adderall, and I'm a little this, I'm a little that. She said the exact same talking point that Stephen Stearns says when he's facing a tough question. Let's listen to it again. This proves to me, at least, that this is rehearsed. This is their safe space that they fall back on. We're sick people. We're all mentally ill. I'm sorry. We're trying our best. We want to help you as best we can, but our medications and our mental illnesses is preventing us from remembering these facts. This is their rehearsed safe space for them to draw upon, to throw you off, to excuse the fact that their story's not making sense. Let's listen to that again. Same thing Stephen says.
I'm sorry, I took my medicine, so I feel a little spacey. I think I've had it with me. I think it's been with me.
Okay. Did you go through her phone today?
Yes.
Okay. Where was that at?
Here.
And what were you looking for at that time?
To see if there was anything else. What we couldn't access on Monday night was Roblox. So my niece came over and logged into her Roblox and checked out messages. But then they were also, my sister was also looking through her phone to see if there was anything.
Here at the house?
Yes.
And that was today?
Yes.
Okay, do you guys have her account information as far as like her iCloud and all that stuff? Or is it just on her phone?
I've had a hard time logging into it before when I was trying to get her a new phone.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure if I can log in to her iCloud. I think it's all on her phone.
Okay. The reason I'm asking is because they took the phone and they downloaded it, right? They can see like if somebody tries to access her accounts and stuff like that. So if you guys do have access to anything, if you guys can refrain from like logging back in.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
So it doesn't look like if she tries to like access her accounts from like somewhere else, that way we can track that.
Yeah.
Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. So they're asking if you can, just try.
Sometimes I like, because I heard a few things before, but I feel like this detective kind of over explains things at times. And I'm not trying to harp on her. Everybody has their own style. She's clearly competent. She's doing a great job. One thing she's good at is listening. And that's big. Letting somebody talk. Those pauses are golden. You want to pause. You don't want to fill in the blanks. You want to let that person fill in the blanks. It's excellent when you have an interviewer that's not afraid to ask a question and wait for an answer. But sometimes she does over explain, and stylistic thing, right? Do me a favor, guys. Please hit that like button. And we're much less now, but the last time I checked, we're 200 subscribers away from 60,000 subscribers. 200 away from 60,000 subscribers. Please subscribe to the channel. Help us get to 60,000 subscribers. And please, guys, hit that like button. Support the show. We got a lot of people watching this right now. Over almost 700 people watching this stream right now. We're approaching a record for the Strategic Eyes show. So please do support the channel. Hit that like button so we can get more people in here and break that record and also get to 60,000 subscribers. Let's keep going.
Not logging into any more of her accounts, so that when he's going through the phone, it doesn't look like she's trying to log on from somewhere else.
Yeah. Okay.
Was there anything else that they wanted us to clarify?
Did you find the address to your...
Sorry, let me call her again.
Or what's the name of it?
Oh, if I could remember her business name, I don't know.
What kind of business?
It's an insurance business. I think Advanced Insurance something group.
And then I know that you've been with us for the most part of the day, right?
Yes.
We have, I want to say maybe like 40 people out here, okay? Between us and Kissimmee. And we're all, going to be working basically overnight and throughout the day tomorrow until we... Okay. Tonight, what we're gonna do is, I know we already secured your house, right? We asked everybody to leave. So another thing that I'm gonna ask is if you guys...
So hold on here. I think this is like why the father came down to help them with housing. Remember, that's what the mother of Stephen Stern says, to help them with housing. I think it's because they had to leave the condo because it was now a crime scene. Now, I don't want to get too deep in, I don't want to be unfair again to Jen, because my question would be, well, why do you guys need to turn my house into a crime scene? That you want everybody out the house. I'm reporting a missing kid right now, but you guys are acting like I'm reporting a homicide. It's funny to me, and I'm just giving her a little deference that maybe she just doesn't understand. She's scared. She's just following what law enforcement is saying. But it's funny to me that she's not saying, hey, guys, why do you want to shut down my house and nobody's allowed in the house, and now basically it's a crime scene? Why? You guys should be out there looking for my child. My child is missing, So I find that odd. I find that odd that Jen gives no pushback. Jen asks no questions. Jen is not curious about the process. She's just going along with whatever they say. Listen, cooperation is important. Cooperation is great. We expect that. You called the police, you want service, cooperate with us. But she's literally just, whatever. and not interested in trying to get to the bottom as why do these people want to do these things? Are they trying to subliminally tell me that something more is going on? I find that very odd, ladies and gentlemen. Let's keep going.
Can find somewhere else to stay for the night, because we're gonna have Kissimmee out here at your apartment for the rest of the night, because the people that come and like take pictures and all that other stuff are not gonna respond until the morning. Okay, so nobody can go into the house for the rest of the night until the house gets, we need to take pictures and do other stuff with the house. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay.
And unfortunately, because you guys have such a big apartment, it's not something that only one person does. Like, we don't do that, right? We have our forensics unit come out. And it's not something that one person can do by herself. So she has to wait until people come in, because they're on call after midnight, right? So she has to wait for the other people to come in the morning, and then they're all going to come in as a unit and try to get it done as quick as possible.
Okay. I need to go back into the house. I have medication that I have to take.
Yeah, all this explaining about the process, I get it. It's good to explain the process. It kind of brings people into it. But, I mean, I don't want to say this like in hindsight, because, of course, we're watching this way after the fact. And these individuals, both Jen and this detective, are kind of going through it together. But I know the kind of questions that I ask. I'd be asking probative questions about the history that she has with Stephen Stearns, how long they've been together, why was he there? You said things like he was helping her with her nighttime routine. What does that mean to you? Why does she need help? I know for a fact I would ask those questions because those are the questions that I've asked before in situations where they were warranted. You want to know, what is the relationship with these folks? So I would probably take the time that this detective is taking to explain the process to her, because I know this detective knows that something's off here, to try and kind of get background on these people. What job did you work prior to working this? Big shout out to Cal Johansson with a $4.99 super chat. Says, Madeline Sophia, you are loved. Big shout out to Crystal Cheney, who's now a Strategiceyes recruit, joining the channel and supporting the channel in that fashion. I do appreciate both of you young ladies for supporting us. We definitely need the help, and we do appreciate it. So yeah, I want to see more background. How long have you lived here? How long have your roommates lived here? Have you had any issues with your roommates? Conceivably, everybody is a suspect at this point, right? How long have you and Stephen been together? I know that question was asked in a different interview. I don't know if it was a previous interview or a post interview. I'm not sure, but how long have you and Stephen been together? Why? How long has he lived here? Well, he hasn't lived here since December. Well, why? Did you guys break up? Yeah. Why did you break up? This is my opportunity to actually get to know you better than your friends. And I don't know if you're telling me the truth, but if you lie to me, then I now have a baseline to determine your level of truthfulness, right? So this is so important. This is that moment where you get that ancillary information, because once she lawyers up, you get nothing. That's what happened now. Jenn Soto has lawyered up, we get nothing. So big shout out to all the viewers. Right now we're at 750 viewers. I think we might be at a record for Strategiceyes viewers for people who are joining on a live stream. Thank you so much, guys. Please make sure you hit that like button. Let's jump back into this, man. Big video. Oh my God, this is such a probative conversation or interrogation or interview, however you want to categorize it, that we're listening to.
In order to be like normal, is there a possibility that I can go back in there and get my meds?
Yes. Give me a few minutes, and then we'll try to figure out how we can get your medication. Okay, but that's something that we can definitely do. Okay. Does it make sense what I'm telling you?
Yeah.
All right, hold on here. I just want to hear again how Jen characterizes the importance of getting her medication.
For the other people to come in the morning, and then they're all going to come in as a unit and try to get it done as quick as possible.
Okay. I need to go back into the house. I have medication that I have to take in order to be like normal.
Wow, that's deep. That's deep. That's a major deflection right there. she's basically setting the tone. Something's wrong with me. Don't judge me by my affect. Don't judge me by those things. Something's wrong with me. I need this medication to be normal. She basically is throwing a veil over her whole statement. I'm mentally ill. You can't blame me. Big shout out to Aki, moderator. Big part of the show. She says, smash that like button. Appreciate you all. Listen to Aki. Please smash the like button. That's big. That's real big, guys.
Is there a possibility that I can go back in there and get my meds?
Yes. Give me a few minutes, and then we'll try to figure out how we can get your medication. Okay, but that's something that we can definitely get. Okay. Does it make sense what I'm telling you?
Yes. I just don't know what we're gonna do about finding a place to go. But okay,
and then because lost in Stefan's car, we're also gonna tow his car.
Okay.
They're giving you every single hint that your boyfriend is the prime suspect without telling you he's the prime suspect. Yeah, man, we're going to have to shut down your whole house, kick everybody out, and make that a crime scene. Yeah, man, the last person to see your daughter was your boyfriend, so we're going to take his car as evidence. They're giving her every single cue that they're looking at Stephen Stearns, and she has no questions, ladies and gentlemen. At least up until now, we're at the 26-minute mark on the audio. And no questions regarding her boyfriend. No questions. Let's keep going.
Do you have any questions about anything that I'm telling you? Okay, so from now on, it'll probably be me getting in touch with you, okay? Not Detective Hunt. Okay? Do you understand everything that we discussed?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I get your direct number?
Yes.
Mom's job address, if I remember it correctly, is 13550 Village Park Lane, Suite 125. In Orlando, Florida.
That's in Hunters Creek. Hunters Creek, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Village Park Drive, you said?
Yes.
Yeah.
And 13550.
Yes.
Is that like an apartment complex?
It's a business building? I don't know. It's a building with a lot of business and offices inside.
And when did you say you were there?
I got there around 4. Well, see, I left and came back. So 4:45. I got there, and I think I stayed until they had left.
Were you there today?
No.
Is there anyone would be anywhere near that area today?
No, I don't think so. It's been with me. Oh, Detective Hunt went back to that office. I'm so sorry, and he had her phone.
Okay.
She's definitely off, man. The way she just kind of like just jumps and something's off with her, man. Something's definitely off with her. And that makes sense because these predators often choose single mothers who have mental illness or who have like financial issues, stuff like that. They often choose these individuals because they're vulnerable. They're vulnerable. Kids who don't have fathers readily in their life. Madeline's father lived in Texas. She lived in Florida. By all accounts, they didn't have the best relationship. At least that's what Madeline would tell her friends. This is the type of scenario a predator would love to find. Type of situation Stephen Stearns sought out and found himself in.
Had her phone at that time.
Yeah.
Why did he go back to that office?
Because my uncle had walked the path along the trail, and he had found a wallet with not 90 but like credit cards and something that had somebody's state on it. So he went to pick it up to see if it was of any interest.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to give you my business card. I'm still here for a little bit longer. I'm going to talk to Stefan.
Somebody made a really good point inside the chat. Who made that point there? Maddie B1 made a really good point. Good job, Maddie B1. She says, if she wasn't going to work Monday, why did she need to have a good night's sleep Sunday? And that's a really, really good point. That's a really good point, because we've all been saying, oh, she got a new job and she needed to go to bed, but that's not the case. It's not the case at all, because what she had was an appointment at 10 o'clock the next day. And most adults, you can get a good night's rest and wake up for a 10 o'clock appointment. Shoot, I have 10 o'clock appointments, 9 o'clock appointments, and I'm going to bed at 2 in the morning. I got to get up at 5:30 in the morning tomorrow. Look what time it is now. It's 11:15, and I'm on live with you. So that's a good point, because she tried to emphasize and throw us off. And like I said, we're doing this together. That's why you guys are the greatest audience somebody could ever dream for, a YouTuber could actually ever dream for. You guys are amazing. It's not about me. This is about us. We're investigating this together. And so she's trying to drive the point home that she needed a good night's rest to kind of explain to us why she would send this child to bed with Stephen Stearns. Sent them to bed together because I needed to get a good night rest. I just started a new job. But in all actuality, her new job had nothing to do with her going to bed at 10 o'clock. Which she went to bed at like 10 or 11 o'clock, remember? She didn't have work the next day. She had a doctor's appointment at 10:30. Really good point. Deception. She's lying. Her getting to bed was not important, ladies and gentlemen. And you guys, the viewers, just figured it out. That's big. The whole notion of her going to bed because of the new job and she needed rest is bollocks. It's crap. She didn't need to do that. She had nothing to do the next day but go to the doctor. Big shout out to Lucifer the Doberman, Strategiceyes patrol member. Lucifer has been a long-time supporter of the channel. We got mad love for Lucifer. Let's keep going.
One more time, there was like a few things that we needed to clarify with him. And then we're gonna, like, me physically, after I get done talking to Stefan, I'm gonna try to go get rest, right? Because we're gonna continue to do all this.
Yeah.
There's other detectives that are coming from my unit, okay? So, like, there's always gonna be somebody here.
Okay.
So just because I physically am not here, don't think that we're not physically working on this. We have a lot of people in our unit, right? So we're taking like shifts. And then the people we have violent crimes out here as well. And they're here till 4 in the morning. So I don't want you to think that, like, just because I'm leaving, that we're not still actively working.
All right, so you explained, once again, for anybody who's just popping into the stream, a lot of people making hay about the fact that this interviewer is from the sex crimes unit. But as I explained to you guys in the beginning of this video, the detective explained that the reason why there's sex crimes and they're there is because of Maddie's age and the fact that she's missing. And this particular child sex crimes unit doesn't just investigate sex crimes against children, they also investigate minors who are missing, right? So they have a multiple disciplinary type of job, right? Now, that explains it, right? She explained it to Jen, so Jen would be like, oh, okay, I don't have to assume that my daughter was a victim of a sex crime. They're here because my daughter is a minor, and they're here because my daughter's missing. But then they just said violent crime. So that would beg a question like, okay, well, why is violent crimes here? Because remember, Jenn Soto's not a cop. Jenn Soto doesn't understand that maybe all these other units have come to just help out. They need the manpower. She doesn't understand that. So why didn't she ask the detective, well, I understand why you're here as sex crimes, but why is violent crimes here? She asks no questions, ladies and gentlemen. And that's big for me. And I'm going to keep harping on that because it shows that something is off or something is very guilty going on. But let's keep going.
Working on this. Does that make sense? Yeah. Like they are here till 4 in the morning, and then the day shift people that also work violent crimes come in around that same time, so they're gonna take over. So like we have like people working till a certain time, and then other people coming and taking over. Okay. So like I said, just because I physically am not here doesn't mean that we're not still working on something. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if I'd give all that information. Once again, I think there's a little bit of an over explanation. And once again, I'm not trying to step on this person's toes. This is a pro, and she's doing God's work. But I just feel like there's too much explanation. Like, do I really need you to know that our violent crimes unit is involved? Do you really need to know that? Because, you know, you're not under arrest and you're free to go. And now you're going to go back to that hotel room with Stefan, who might be your co-conspirator, your accomplice, maybe, possibly, not sure, no evidence of it, but I think. And now you're letting him know, hey, listen, she said that violent crimes is involved. You know, this is turning kind of sour. How do we tweak our story to be more believable? Like these... kind of over-explaining, giving too much information. She doesn't need to know who these detectives are there. She just needs to know that, hey, we're working on this round the clock. And kind of like saying the same thing 3-4 times. I don't know if that's her way of fishing for what next to say. Everybody has their own little cue that helps them talk during stressful situations, because that detective's under pressure right now. I don't know. But I think she's giving a little bit too much information. And if she's watching this, I apologize. No way am I trying to denigrate you. I think you're doing God's work. I think you did an excellent job interviewing Jenn Soto. We're just reacting to it. It's nothing personal. Let's keep going.
Real quick, I remember Detective Tagler asked, but yesterday when you guys were out looking, do you remember what time you were out looking till?
Big shout out to blah, blah, blah. Have a good one.
So yesterday, I stayed in the office. My family went out searching.
Which office?
1355, yeah.
You stayed until what time?
I'm going to say somewhere between 8 and 9 o'clock. I left and then I came home.
You came straight here?
Yeah.
And then who was out? Your family was out looking?
Yeah, but I think they all stopped when... Actually, I'm not sure. One of my uncles might have kept searching along the trail, but I'm not sure until what time he was out. My dad as well.
What about Stefan?
Stefan went out sometime in the middle of the night and went searching, cruising around.
He went searching, then she kind of changed it to cruising. Why? That's weird.
Around to see if he could.
When searching, cruise.
Oh, guess we didn't cut that out. Let's keep going.
Searching, cruising.
Until what time he was out. My dad as well.
What about Stefan?
Stefan went out sometime in the middle of the night and went searching, cruising around to see if he could figure out where she might be.
What car was he driving?
My car.
Was anybody driving Stefan's car?
No, just Stefan.
And what time was he out?
I have no idea. I fell asleep. But I know he drove my car because when I got into it, I said, "Oh, the seat's adjusted. Did you drive my car?" He goes, "Yeah, remember I said I was going to take a drive tonight to go search for her because he does have like insomnia. He can't sleep at night sometimes, and especially like that's what's going on right now. But I'm not sure what time he may have come in or out. But if you guys look at my gate clicker, you need that to come in the front gate. You can.
So she's using the same terminology. Remember, he called the gate opener a clicker. I don't know if that's a Florida thing. Like, I don't want to look too deep into it. Is that what you guys call that stuff in Florida? Is that like the slang out there? If you look at my clicker, seems very juvenile. But I mean, once again, if that's what they say in Florida, who am I to judge? But She's using the same terminology he used when in his interview when he said, I forgot the clicker and I went back to go get the clicker.
And see what times he may have come in and out.
Okay. I don't think I have.
You know, I have one. I call it a remote, the garage remote. But let's keep going.
Anything else for you? We're gonna clear some things with Stefan, and then I will let you know before I head out.
Okay.
Okay. Do you promise everything you said today?
All right. Okay. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. That was really interesting. Seriously, that was really interesting. It was very probative in my opinion. I feel like we got a really clear and concise account of what she believed happened that day. There's a lot of contradiction between what she said in previous interviews with the news, etc. I think I need time to digest this. I think definitely I'll be going into the members section and discussing this more with the members and kind of diving in there. So, wow. I mean, there's just a lot to talk about. We may come back and kind of like dive into this just a little bit deeper on another day. But I want to leave you guys with this. I think we covered a lot. I want to leave you guys with this. I hope you guys have learned something from the commentary. I really appreciate the audience. The audience was great. Big shout out to the moderators who went in there, and you know, we did have some trolls. We did have some adults who don't know how to act in a civilized manner. But it is what it is. That's the world that we live in. That's why we have Stephen Stearns running around. We have people like him. You know, so sometimes you can see the dichotomy between people who are trolls and these monsters. That just shows you there are people out there who lack impulse. Big shout out to David with a $49 super chat. Thank you so much. He says, you're looking sharp tonight, Strategic Man. Really appreciate you. David is a longtime supporter and friend of the show, has been with me for many, 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 many years. And I'm so happy that he's stuck around with me as we've changed the show around to a true crime, only true crime, all the time channel. We do appreciate you, and you know, in a very manly way, David, we love you, brother. We do appreciate you. But big shout out once again to the moderators. You guys did an amazing job. Jules from Sydney, Erica B, and of course our chief moderator Aki, who's always holding it down. You guys are great. Can't do this show without you. I need you guys. I love you guys. Big shout out to everybody who decided to become a member today. Please consider becoming a member of the Strategiceyes Show if you haven't done that already. It definitely get a value for your buck, and literally a buck. The lowest tier is 99 cents, and you know, nobody who has the 99 cents tier complains. You get a boatload of content, right? So I'm showing a whole lot of love, making sure that you guys definitely experience an exclusive premium offering from the Strategiceyes Show. So I hope you guys consider becoming members of the Strategiceyes Show. And lastly, for everybody who showed love with the super chats and all that good stuff, thank you so much for supporting me. You guys are great. And for the rest of the folks who are watching this, thank you for showing up and watching this show. You are just as important as super chatters and members and all that. You have showed up, watched the show, hit the like button, and you are so appreciated. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please consider subscribing now. We're marching to 60,000 subscribers. We're almost there. I think we're like 200 away. I can't see where we're at now, but I know we're getting closer. So please be that 60,000 subscriber. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and make sure you set all those notifications for all. And lastly, I mean, it's the end of the show. People are already leaving, so shameless plug on my own show. You can't do a shameless plug on your own show. We have merchandise, so please consider getting Strategiceyes merch, supporting the channel in that way. All right, guys. So you guys are amazing. You guys are awesome. Before I go, want to give a big shout out to a new member. Lil Red Zero is a new member. She's a Strategiceyes recruit. Thank you so much for joining the channel, supporting the channel, and I hope you enjoy the premium content and all that good stuff. All right, guys. Wow, it's time for that outro. I worked hard for you today. I've been up since 4 in the morning, man. I need some rest and I need some food. I see you guys on the next one. Strategic is out of here. Peace.